Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm going to review Andrew Zeng's day in the life video. Just real quick, why should you listen to me? My name is Ipe. I've been building internet businesses since 2014. Today I make over 7 figures a year. And yeah, just basically I'm very experienced with all kinds of different online business models, over 8 years experience. And I made all my money without a YouTube channel. So I find that a lot of these guys on YouTube, um, their actual income source or how they became really successful is through YouTube. I did it through my skills in being able to build and rank websites in Google. So I find that I can bring a lot of different interesting perspective on this subject of online businesses. So yeah, let's take a look. Um, I haven't I haven't looked at this video
over the
at all,
last 5
so
years,
this is the first
I've
time
been building a couple
looking at this.
businesses to a point where I've been able to quit my job years ago, and I now run this soon-to-be 7-figure company full-time. Ever since I made the decision to work for myself and leave my marketing manager career behind, my life has completely changed, both good and others more challenging, as I'll share in this day in my life. And being an entrepreneur, as challenging as it is, has afforded me the extreme privilege of turning my passions into an incredibly rewarding, fulfilling career, and has opened many doors for myself and
One of the biggest lessons that my mentor taught me in the beginning is don't worry about your passions. Like if you're stuck in a 9 to 5 job, I find that this advice of like, hey, follow your passion is like the worst advice that you can get. You just want to focus on how to create leveraged income in your life so that you can leave your 9 to 5 and get freedom first. Your primary objective is how can I make leveraged income so that you can get more freedom. You shouldn't be thinking about passions. You can chase your passions later on once you got freedom.
my loved ones we never thought we'd open in this lifetime. Hey friends, Andrew here, hope you're well. I finally now have a chance to share with you my updated day in my life. This is a highly requested video since my first one years ago, and my typical day has completely changed now since working long hours as a marketing manager and building that side business. So let's start at 7 a.m. after I get straight out of bed. Thanks HubSpot for sponsoring a segment of this video. My morning routine right now is simple and easygoing so I can start the day off right. I wash my face, I brush my teeth, then I do a quick skincare routine, which is just currently cleanser, toner, then day lotion. Taking just a few minutes for your skin every morning is just so important to keep your skin as healthy as it can be as we age. Then I fix up my bed hair, blow dry it, and throw on some wax. This is my partner's pink blow dryer, just in case you're wondering. Then onto a quick breakfast. I'm still brewing tea instead of coffee, and today I'm making a mug of Hojicha tea, which is a roasted green tea. Then I'm making a quick bowl of oats with nuts and raisins. Sometimes I'll cook a proper breakfast, and other times
Guys, I'm gonna start talking about health more and more when I go through these day in the life videos. And I've done a lot of research on health and nutrition over the last 10 years. And to me, like oats is one of the worst food that you can eat. It literally has just fiber and carbs, which turns into sugar in your body. And contrary to popular belief, you do not need fiber. Fiber stands for the indigestible part of a plant. Okay, literally, your body doesn't know how to ingest. It cannot ingest it. Right. All it leads to is digestion problems, bloating. You do not want to start your day with a breakfast with like oats. You know what I mean? Like you want to start with like a heavy protein breakfast, if anything.
I'll go out for breakfast. It really depends on what I have on for the
That all that has is sugar basically and fiber, right? And sugar will lead to an insulin spike, and that's going to lead to a sugar crash later on in the day. This is why a lot of these people need coffee or tea, like caffeine, to keep going. I don't drink any coffee, so
the day. I often try and take this time to
by the way, I'm on a full carnivore diet. Yeah, I'll have cheat days if I'm hanging out with friends and family. But yeah, most days I'm on a carnivore diet, and in my opinion, it's the best, most optimal diet for a human being.
have breakfast with my partner, who also has flexibility in her schedule, working for a tech startup, and is also working for herself on the side. She's a talented cookie, and
I want to say one thing too, like food, like people underestimate the importance of food. It's highly important, especially if you're like entrepreneur. Like you need high levels of like clean energy throughout the day without crashes. So food is majorly important. Now when you're younger, like this kid seems pretty young, like food is not as important because you have hormones that take over and run the body. But once you hit 30, what you're eating on a day-to-day basis, in my opinion, becomes extremely important.
I'm really proud of her, and we take this chance to just chat about all sorts of random things like what was the first ever state of the US? Let me know down below if you know. Right after, I'll spend about 20 to 30 minutes checking and replying to urgent emails. Since my clients are literally all across the globe, I'm working with time zones like California, New York, and Israel.
I wouldn't recommend. I personally don't like handling emails like first thing in the morning. Like you can go on tangents and you can get distracted, And so in the morning before I open emails or anything like that, I want to focus on the most productive thing I can do in my business. And in most cases, that's gonna be creating a digital asset that allows me to create passive income. So that would be either filming a video, writing an article, writing an email, these things that allow me to create some sort of digital asset that I can use over and over and over again to create money with.
To Singapore and Hong Kong, but more about that when I actually get into the office. And then I'll fit in a push or pull session at the gym for about 45 minutes. I just feel a lot more fresh and happier fitting in exercise, but I don't always get the chance to, depending on how busy my schedule is. One of the things
there's no need to go to the gym if you understand the science behind the X3 bar, which is a far more effective and efficient way to build muscle. And it only takes 10-15 minutes out of your day, and you can do it at home. Like going to the gym, it's way too time consuming once you understand how much of a waste of a time it is and how ineffective lifting actual weights is compared to the resistance bands. That's a game changer.
Things I love about being my own boss is setting my own hours, even though I often work 12 to 14-hour days. Had a good session at the gym. I'm now going to go to the new office, which I'll show you guys in a moment. But yeah, going to the gym is really important, big part of the morning routine. I usually supplement the gym because it gets kind of boring sometimes with F45, kickboxing, bouldering, that sort of stuff. So that's now all wrapped up. I'm now going to finally get into work. So let's head over to the office. So welcome to the new office and studio I've just moved into. At this point, it's usually 9 to 10 a.m. This is a property I purchased a few years ago, but more recently, I've been working on transforming this space, so I'm able to make use of it while the media company continues to grow. It's still a work in progress, so if you want to follow on in this setup makeover series, I'll leave a link to the videos below if you want to check it out. Anyway, I'm just setting up on my desk. It's not a work day without good music though, so first things first. Hey Sonos, play lo-fi music. This is my current office corner and desk setup where I do most of my work, from really mundane stuff like emails and admin work to the more creative things like filming, photography, and marketing and design work. In case you're a new subscriber here or you're just curious about what I do, because that seems to be a pretty common question, I currently run a 4-person media company. Everyone's working remotely, but I'm trying to do a better team actually of bring people in-house. So I think I'm going to start beginning to hire people full-time to work with me, alongside me. I'm pretty bad at outsourcing things and creating teams, so I'm trying to improve on that front. If you're curious about joining the team, actually, I'll leave a link down below to our jobs page. But anyway, yeah, that's what I currently do. If you're a long-time subscriber though, you'll probably already know that this isn't the only thing that I do. I'm also partnered on an e-commerce business and also an education business, both of which have actually become a secondary focus, simply because I'm having so much fun building up this media company, building up the YouTube channel. I'm having an absolute blast. Hopefully that answers what I do in a summarized, compact version. But if you have any questions about what I do day to day, just leave questions down below. I'll try to answer as many as possible. So that's what I currently do, and the truth is, what I've built would not be possible without my experience as a digital marketing manager. It's where I learned a ton of skills to build, grow, and market a business. And during my time as a marketing manager, I used a pretty well-known tool called HubSpot. It's a marketing, sales, and customer service platform that helps companies grow. If you're in the marketing space, there's a good chance that you already know it too. So it's pretty relevant that HubSpot is sponsoring this segment of the video to help you guys start a business too, if that's something you want to do. HubSpot hosts a big library of free resources, which contains their business startup kit right here. This one includes 9 free templates to help you brainstorm. I'm going to click to it in the description. Me on the team in Slack, putting out any flyers and helping where I can and adding in my 2 cents. Then I'll usually go through my inbox. I seriously spend way too much time in my inbox, and it's usually to manage things like suppliers, travel plans, and a big one is brand sponsors. We're lucky enough to have more brand partners in our inbox than we can actually take on right now. It's part of the reason why we need to expand the team. So it takes a lot of my time fielding these emails, even with my team's help, and I actually say no to at least 90% of sponsorship requests, if not more. Then I'll move on to running the routine Shopify store and ad checks and help out with our students inside our mastery programs, which is our marketing and online business course. At this point, it's about 11 a.m. and before I take a break, I'll usually get started on the fun creative work, so the photography, the filming, and the tech reviews, which I absolutely love creating. I usually buy most of the tech I review out of my pocket, but we also get sent a load of cool gadgets from all sorts of brands too. And no single...
Yeah, so this is going to be his most leveraged activity, is doing these reviews and growing his YouTube channel, because this is actually creating that digital asset that's going to allow him to get more and more attention on the internet, and he knows how to monetize that attention. So yeah, all this like kind of going back and forth with like teams and like going to emails and all of that stuff like sounds impressive and all, but believe it or not, that is not a really high income activity. I don't check emails. I don't like even manage my team. That's secondary. That can wait. I'll do that in the afternoon once I had like, maybe past noon. But in the morning, when you have the most energy and the most focus, you should be doing creative work that allows you to create some sort of media or content, article, blog posts, those kind of things.
All day is the same when it comes to filming. Sometimes I'm in this dedicated studio space, sometimes I'm out and about, sometimes I'm even overseas filming. And it's a lot more work than most people think. Setting up all the camera gear, setting up the new tech, and getting literally hours of cinematic footage can be pretty physically tiring, but it's really rewarding, and as long as you guys enjoy the end product, that is all that matters. My workday is always so dynamic and different, and as someone who finds it really hard to stay put in an office cubicle, it suits my working style really well. Today isn't as busy on the filming front, so I'm going to head over to a local cafe. Before I drive over, this is the robot vacuum cleaner I turned on so I can come back to a clean office. Gadgets like these are such a lifesaver and save me a lot of time. It's really nice also to have the privilege of constantly changing up the space so work never gets dull. I usually go with my partner or a friend to catch up over lunch and then continue with other work over there like video scripting, managing incoming contracts, and a routine check on the team over Slack and similar things like that. Research shows most people can't sustain more than 4 hours of deep work per day, myself included, so I work in blocks and I try to break it up, otherwise it's just too much of a struggle. But yeah, this was a nice treat today. This local cafe does really good specialty drinks and
I used to do that quite a bit when I first got started in entrepreneurship, online entrepreneurship back in like 2014 and 15, 16, 17. Like I would work at home for 4 hours and I'd go to like Starbucks and start working there. Just to change the scene helps a lot. Like at this point though, I have like such a big like home office that I don't do that anymore. But I do see his point of doing 4 hours of focused work. Although I don't agree with just doing 4 hours every day. I can break up the days, do 4 hours in the morning and then do another 4 hours later on in the day as well.
Coffee, we had a couple fresh sandwiches, sodas, and scones, and we definitely don't get to work from a cafe daily, and there are actually oftentimes I work right through lunch depending on what I'm doing. By the time we get back home, it's about 5 p.m. today. It's been really hard to just switch off and stop working right in the evenings, especially when you run your own business. My partner is the same since she has a lot of incoming work and projects with her business too, so a forced function to wind down has been cooking healthy dinners together, and to save time, we've got into the habit of cooking HelloFresh dinners, and it's been really enjoyable. This isn't sponsored by them at all, by the way.
Honestly, like, I guess, what am I trying to say? So, I think YouTube creates a big opportunity for people that can find a good niche and dominate like he has. But, I don't think working just 4 hours is enough to get up and running today. It seems like his day is already kind of finished. But I mean, no, like I would do 4 hours in the morning and again 4 hours later in the day. Like, that's just me. Once I have dinner, like I'm still getting back on the computer. Even my mentor Dan Klein, like when I'm at his house, like working, like actually like creating new training or innovating on things. Like we don't just work 4 hours in a day. Like that's too little of hours in my opinion.
We've just been really enjoying HelloFresh for months now. Tonight we're cooking sesame oven-baked fries, Sichuan glazed pork meatballs, and a Japanese salad on the side, and it was freaking delicious. We also had a friend joining us for dinner, and we had a chat about our day, what we achieved at work, things we're grateful for, future travel plans, and other random stuff. And this might sound sappy, but although I've built a business and achieved a small amount of success so far, I'm most proud of my partner, and I value our love and family most, and no matter where I'm at in a few years' time, the intention is to remain grounded and prioritize family and friends no matter how much quote-unquote success I manage to achieve. It is her turn to wash the dishes though, so I just play the piano for a bit, something I don't get the chance to do much of anymore, but it's still really enjoyable and peaceful. And let me know if you recognize this piano tune. Later in the evenings, I'll carve out a night shift block to do more work like editing a video.
Okay, so he does have a night shift. All right. All right, I take that back.
writing or more analytical work on the e-commerce store. I try not to work late nights anymore, unlike my tough old days when I was working 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. constantly to make this business thing work out. It really wasn't healthy, but honestly, running a company isn't easy, and more often than not,
Sometimes it's okay to go have long extended bouts of like quote unquote unhealthy times of like overwork, overtime work, and obsession. Okay, like I've done many of that, and you're basically working outside of like exercise, eating, and sleeping. Like you're basically like you're getting back on the computer and working all day long. That's how you can really get ahead in business, especially in a particular field that you're in. That's how you can become one of the best at it. And it's those hours that I put in and that tenaciousness that I have that was able to become like one of the best at what I do, which is ranking websites in Google. Like I have a blog, epay.com, that ranks globally for some of the toughest keywords on the internet.
I'm working extra hours at night.
I trust me, I didn't get there to that level by working 4 hours a day. I would have never got there because there's certain thing is called like momentum that gets built when you obsess over something for an extended period of time.
Enjoy it though. I get the moody smart lights going, get settled into the zone, and burn the midnight oil either back at my office or at my small home office. The difficult thing is being able to stop myself at a reasonable time to actually wind down, especially when my clients are literally all over the world, so I'm getting requests at all times of the day. When I am finally ready to call it a day and I still have some time or I just feel like staying up later, I'll usually fit in a short gaming session on my new gaming PC setup I built earlier this year, or watch Netflix with my partner, or just read a book on my Kindle in bed. So not every day is the same, and in fact it's really quite different and dynamic. In today's video, I think it was just a glimpse into what a more structured day might look like, but like I said, my day looks really dynamic and it's very different, and that's I guess what makes what I do quite fun. In fact, I'm going to be going overseas working remotely quite soon, so if you want to see a day in my life remote version, let me know in the comments, and if you made it to the very end of this video, drop the code word comment HUSTLE and I'll give it a like. And for those of you who want to see what went into working a full-time job while building a company and how I got to the place I am at now, I'll leave a link here to the original Day in My Life video. You might find a few things in that video useful, especially if you're trying to achieve the same thing and build and chase your dreams. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's Day in My Life video, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, that was basically, I didn't have that much like takeaway from that video, to be honest. I just saw a dude that kind of created a YouTube channel. It took off, it went really well for him. I'm happy for him. And he created some media management company on the side, maybe a few other businesses, mostly passive. But I mean, to me, the most important thing that he does is he knows how to get your guys' attention by creating this like video content. And that's honestly why he's at where he's at, because he's willing to get outside of his comfort zone, get in front of a camera, and continually and consistently over many years make these videos. This is why he's at where he's at. Much like me, for me, I didn't have to get on in front of a camera. I'm starting to make YouTube videos, but it's not really my primary focus. I have a team of like 25 writers, and we're producing articles, multiple articles on a daily basis over at my blog, epay.com, and that's how I make money. And I also make money by ranking in simple little websites to small businesses, and I generate leads for like your plumber, roofer, tree service, HVAC companies, these kind of companies. In fact, that's the business model that I recommend for most beginners trying to make money on the internet. It's the most achievable by far. It's way faster to get to like 10K a month than starting a brand new YouTube channel. So that's what I recommend for beginners. And we have a coaching program that teaches that. So if you want to find out more info on that, click on the link in the description. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.